for us. Oh, DHL is here. Maybe
I saw that too.
We're waiting on a package from my mom.
That's our Christmas present. Santa was late. Welcome to another video with Elliot and Lucas. Today, Lucas dragged me away from my master's thesis so we could record this video. You can see stress isn't treating me well. Yeah. So we were talking with our couples counselor and she asked, well, what is it like living in Germany? And we said, well, it's different. It's just different for us Americans. And she found that this was interesting because she has several other colleagues from Germany and she says that her German colleagues are like, no, like Germany's fine, you know? I mean, but they're also used to it. But like people from other cultures who live in Germany, they're typically like, yeah, it's cold and it's, I mean, not like temperature cold, like the people are cold.
So this is kind of a topic we've talked about in the past when we were back in the USA and painting my mom's basement. So you can see that video up here, and it was a shorter video where we kind of talked about the like intricacies of how like in the US people come off very friendly from the get-go, but maybe that's kind of fake by saying hi, how are you, and smiling to strangers on the sidewalk, and how that kind of differs from here in Germany. And a lot of you like had a lot of interesting points about that video and brought up a lot of discussion, which was super cool. And so like Ellie said, when our counselor kind of brought up this point, it was kind of interesting, and we kind of had like a little aha conversation after the fact relating to this topic. And so today we're kind of carrying that topic onward. Maybe to be most informed, you should start with the video up here and then come back to this. So just pause real quick, go watch it, and come back and we can keep talking some more. And while you're paused, we have a very exciting announcement, and that's that we have our very first affiliate partnership with a company that sounds pretty cool, although we haven't gotten to use them yet, but ideally someday we would get to.
If we were like starting off from the beginning, I wish we would have known about them before we lived here.
Yeah.
And I think also going forward, when we're going to different other countries, it'll be really helpful.
Yeah. So this company is called ivisas.com. Basically what they do is they make it easier for you as a traveler to find out what papers you need to go to another country, how much those will cost, and to kind of facilitate the whole thing. So for instance, if as a German you want to go to the USA, you can go on their website and it's very easy. It's basically like you're traveling and you just type in you're starting from Germany, you're going to the USA, and they will tell you what papers you need, what kind of visas, how much they'll cost, and help you fill out the forms and the paperwork and pay for it all in one go. So you don't need to deal with all the annoying government websites because the US ones are not any better than the Germany ones. So if you ever have like traveling needs, feel free to check them out. We'll always have the link in the description down below. If you ever go on our website, pretty soon I'll get it posted up there too. That's ellieandlucas.net.
Moving forward, we'd also like to say that some other people have reached out to us, but like when we ever get partnered with affiliates, we're only going to put things on our channel that we feel like would benefit our viewers.
Mm-hmm. So like we have had people with like jewelry, but we don't wear jewelry. So like this is something we're sticking with because we like their platform, we like what they're trying to do, and it means something to us, and hopefully that means it means something to you. And as the last little bit of that information, we do get some amount of commission for it, between like 10 to 30% if you book through our link with them. So if you want to support us in some way without like being a Patreon member or things like that, this is a very cool way if you have some exciting trip planned pretty soon. Back to the video. So yeah, we were talking with our counselor about all these different things, and she made a very interesting point that a lot of the people she works with from Germany are very happy, they're very like friendly, she thinks they're very, very kind people. And Ellie and I can both agree with that. All of our German friends are like amazing. You feel like they go to the end of the earth for you. They're all genuinely very, very nice. And she also made the point, our counselor, that immigrants and like outsiders to Germany often tell her that their biggest problems living here are that they feel not appreciated, they feel like the culture is very cold to them, and things like that. And I think me and Ellie are in a very interesting position where we are right in the middle of that. We have great friends, so we understand what it can be like to be friends with German people, but we also understand what it's like to feel like outsiders and not always feel so welcome because we are not native Germans, and some people do notice, and it can rub off that way sometimes. So what was super interesting to me and kind of made the light bulb go off in my head was that I don't think that many German citizens necessarily realize how cold they can come off to foreigners as, because you're very used to it. Just like our counselor was saying, all the German people she works with all think it's just very normal, but you don't realize how cold it comes off to other people. And I think that's like very interesting, and it made me think of this even more when we went diving last Friday, because there was an interaction between two German friends that I was watching, and they looked like the bestest of friends, and it looked very normal and the same things we would see in America, right?
The bestest.
But looking from the outside into it, if I ran into that same guy on the street, it would be a very different interaction. If I tried to act that friendly, odds are he'd be kind of like, what are you doing? And so I think it's just a very interesting topic to get to talk with you guys about how differently the culture can be perceived depending on what side of the fence you're on.
Yeah, like I definitely think also that's why a lot of the Germans think that the Americans are like over friendly, is because like that's not normal for their culture. And so like, well, we think that that's normal. It comes off as being like maybe
like fake or overly enthusiastic, but not really meaning it.
But I don't think us Americans see it that way, because do you like when you go and you like say have a nice day to like a cashier or something, do you mean it, or is it just like fake, do you think?
Yeah, I think I genuinely hope that they have a good day.
Yeah.
And I've been a cashier, so I know that it can be a little rough some days, so I'm trying to also maybe help perk their day up a bit.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that I want to be their best friend.
No.
Like, I'm not giving them my phone number. Don't call me because I don't know you. But I at least hope and care enough to want you to have a good day. And I think the German culture can come off very differently, where I don't think a random person I see in the street hopes that I have a terrible day, but they're not going to go out of their way a lot of times in any way to make my day a little better. You know, you're just strangers and that's it. Where in the US, strangers still try to maybe be a little happier.
One of my favorite things to do though is like when I go to like a checkout here in Germany and I have like a cashier and they just say, here, like, möchten Sie den Beleg? Und ich sage ja, and then so like, do you want your receipt? And I say yes, and then I say schönen Tag noch, because normally like they're supposed to say to you like have a nice day. I feel like at least that's what American culture has taught me. The cashier should say have a nice day.
Yeah.
But here a lot of people don't say that anymore, and I don't know if it's because we live in a bigger city or if it's just like the times or what, but a lot of times like since they don't say that, they'll say like tschüss or auf Wiedersehen, and I'm like schönen Tag noch, like have a nice day. And then a lot of them are like kind of sometimes, like I remember the first time I did it, the person was like, you too, like it was like this honest, like they're like, oh yeah, like you honestly wish that I have a nice day, and I'm like, of course, like I don't just want to like take my things and leave. I'm like, I hope that you have a nice day. Like, yeah. I don't know. It was really cool that like I, as an American, could like say something German to a German, and they're like, oh really? Like you too? And I was like, the heart feelings just got to me in that moment. Alright, so with that in mind, that is our general perception on the issue. Not that it's really an issue, but on this topic. So going forward, we're not quite sure what even our video will be next week, so if you have any ideas for us, let us know. We've thought about maybe telling you how we've decided to ship our things back to the US, and general packing and stuff like that, which could be good for like people who decide to move to the US from Germany. So that could be a potential topic, but we're not quite really sure.
No, we're in a little bit of a limbo state right now, especially because we're both so busy. It's hard to like even put these videos together right now.
Yeah.
But that's just life sometimes. So if you have some ideas, comment below. Let us know. Click the like button if you enjoyed today's video.
Have a great week.